I'm Sally Eccles, head coach at Model High School, and I've brought with me today 3 of my players, Javia Samples, a junior, Sadie Rawton, a senior, and Camry Sanders, a freshman.
Jacob Travis, Model High School, 3 players as well. Noah Travis, a senior, Stevie Dallas, a senior, and Chase Allen, a senior.
Excellent, coaches. Well, I want to start with the success that you guys have had the last few years. Sweet 16 run for the girls, Elite 8 for the boys, Final Four 2 years ago. So I know you had to replace some seniors, but you have a lot of leadership coming back. So let's talk about the experiences from last season and how that helps you build for this year.
Ladies first, I thought. It helps you build. It obviously gives you some things that your expectations at practice and culturally should be in place. So yeah, and we lost a guy that was like running around a house on a ball screen. So we lost leadership in that position. So these guys have to learn and step up as well as the year goes on. But we do have a core group returning, and hopefully we'll be a little creative in how to fill the role or the void that we had. So.
Yeah, I would say, finishing, I think each year for Sadie as a senior, we finished a little bit farther than the year before. And so losing 3 big contributors last year, all 3 of our seniors were valuable to our team. But what we have coming in, we're excited about as well. So just hoping to, continue to push hard and work hard early in the season so that we can, see the success in the postseason.
All right, coaches, we're going to touch on this last question. We're going to talk about your reflections from last season. Obviously, these deep playoff runs, Sweet 16, Elite 8, what are the lessons you learned from these deep playoff runs that will help you for this upcoming season?
Coaches or players?
Coaches.
Okay. Well, I think each year, just the experience alone, the pressure situation that you face, the deeper that you get, it creates an atmosphere and a pressure that you can't really recreate unless you've been there. And so we hope that having been under some really tough or against some really tough teams deep in the postseason will prepare us. And so it's familiar when you get there again. No emotion is the same when you're facing a tough opponent, but we hope that experience will prepare us for this year.
One thing I learned is not to schedule Westside Augusta an out-of-region opponent. Maybe the best team I'd seen ever on the floor. The other thing we've learned is that it's hard to get there. Like, winning is hard, so it's hard to get there. And every year when that reset button hits, it's not, hey, we're building on last year. We are building on those experiences, but it's hard to get there. So be thankful we had in the past, and yes, the experience pays off, but the reality is we got to go back to work like we didn't do that. We lost our last game, and we got to have that perspective all the time.
Excellent. Well, this one's for the players. Watching you guys play last year, it seemed like every night a different player stepped up, and maybe they were the leading scorer. I mean, you could depend on your teammates to step up at different times. So talk about what it means to play with your teammates. We'll start with the boys.
To play with teammates, it's just we play together really well, and I think that just kind of resulted in the success we've had the last few years. And then even with Chase stepping up last year, I think that really helped us make it a deep run.
For me, it's I've been playing with these guys since 7th grade, so it's a lot of trust going out here on the floor with them. I feel like I'm a guy who can go out here and I can play my game while they're playing their game as well. We don't step on each other's toes while we're playing. We all know how each other plays, so it's just really comfortable with each other, and we go out there and get the job done.
So I feel like with us, it's also a lot of trust, and I feel like even when it's not my night, I can depend on one of them to step up, and step behind me.
I agree. It definitely has a lot to do with trust and the chemistry we've built together playing over the years.
Well, I didn't really play. This is my first year, so I haven't played with them in a season. But playing with them over the summer, it was kind of like we're a family. So it's we don't really we're all together. We're not really apart.
Coach Eccles, you did something very few two teams have done today, and that is bring a freshman here. Why is that?
Well, we've talked about, what we've done previously, but it's a new season. And I think it's important when you know that you have players who have potential. I think there's an expectation there with Cam. I think that she earned that respect on the floor this summer, on the floor as a as an 8th grader, and I think that she will make an immediate impact. And I think those are the kind of players that you get excited about, but you get excited about her because what she brings to the team, not just as an individual. But I think that that's worth noting and worth looking out for.
For all the players, I'm curious, which of your teammates are you most excited to watch or play alongside this year?
This year, probably Bryson Denson, who was a freshman last year, came off the bench as probably the 6th man, stepped up in the region tournament, and then will probably be starting this year. And I think it's just a great year for him to step up for us.
I would say John Miles, because he's the hustler on the team, go for all the loose balls when we wouldn't. So I would say it's John Miles.
For me, I'd probably say Chaden Woodley. He's a freshman coming up, so I think it'll be fun to play with him, help him learn, find his way on the court, teach him a couple things, and just help him become more comfortable on the court, since it's a step up from middle school to playing high school basketball.
So I would say the whole team, because I'm really excited to see what our whole team would do together, and how each of us will contribute on the floor.
I would probably say Cam, just because I've never really played with her before, and I just want to see how our chemistry from this summer transfers to the games in the season.
I would probably say Sadie, because she's our team shooter. So if I'm ever, off, I could just depend on her to knock the shot down.
All right, coaches, over the offseason, there are a few things that come into play. Obviously, or over the summer, of course, you play open runs, open gym, things of that nature. Of course, you play at Barry a lot of the times. So I'm just curious, what does an off season look like over the summer for you as a team?
For us, I think it's familiarity. I think just getting to know each other. I think that for girls, Coach Travis and I talk about a lot, is that girls have to bond in order to battle. And so our summer is, we spend an extensive amount of time together so that we can create bonds that hopefully are lasting, and then that chemistry will translate to the floor. So I think that that's just creating a culture where you're supporting one another, you're encouraging one another, I think are very essential to what we can put on the floor this season.
I know for us, it's always how do you press pause? Everybody wants the summer to say something, or they want the spring to say something, or the AAU season in July to say something, and there's another event. How do you press pause on making that kind of judgment and just work on getting better? I think our guys have really bought into that. Chase is in the gym this morning in the dark, 6:30, right? Custodian lets him in. Noah's in the gym Saturday night in the dark. They're all in the gym. I mean, it's about getting better for us when everybody else is reading Twitter clips and clips on X, and we're focused on getting better. And so the ability, like a superpower, to focus on that when everybody else is reading the press clips is a big deal.
Excellent. Well, coaches are going to wind down with this last question, but the tradition of basketball out in Shannon at Model High School is unlike any other in the county. I think when you go to a game out there, there's just seems to be a tremendous amount of fan support. So talk about that, and from the players, I'd love to hear from each one of you about what it means to be a Blue Devil.
It's special, and I don't know how to understate or overstate it, but it's, my 4th grade teacher crochets in the bleachers. We go on the road, and people go to our games that they have no reason to go to our games except for it's Saturday. So it's pretty incredible and a special place to be. I don't want to take that for granted. So it's definitely that. Special, that is.
It's special because every game that we have fans show up no matter where we are, and every home game always feels like a state playoff game, no matter who we play or what day of the week it is.
It's special because the fans and stuff bring all the excitement to the games and all the joy. So it's like really fun playing in front of a big crowd, especially people that's like been here a while. That's it.
Yeah, just like piggyback off what Stephen Noah said, you know, the fans, they bring the energy to the games. They create that atmosphere that we really thrive in. You know, like a lot of teams, they may not play in front of that. And so like we get to the playoffs and big games and stuff like that, and we're comfortable in it because we're like every game we play is like that because of how our fans are at all of the games. So it's just, yeah, they really just help us get prepared for stuff like that.
I think it is a very unique situation that we have. I think even the fact that Coach Travis and I both played there and now coach there and have been coaching there for a while. I think that the history is rich and the tradition is rich because the community loves us, supports us. They care about these kids. They show up for these kids. And I just think that it's just a cycle that has continued for years. And to their point, I think the energy in the gym is electric and it's a fun environment to be a part of, and definitely the community is dear to our hearts.
I feel like it's special because like everybody in the community is family. Like you don't meet any strangers. Like it's like I'll go to the store and someone's like, "You go to Model?" I'm like, "Yeah," and then like you just see like the biggest smile on their face because like I feel like Model's such a good school, you know, because of like the community.
I would say I agree with that. It's just very like a family, and like all the fans are so supportive and very, very energetic.
I feel like it has a lot to do with the fans, but also my team. I feel like if the team's not hyped, then we don't have a good game, but it does have a lot to do with the community as well.
Excellent. Well, the smells of popcorn and sweat aren't too far off, Coach. So good luck this season. Appreciate you guys being here. Have a good one.